I believe I was like year 8, year 9. I pretty much knew I was going to be a builder. The passion for building for me was obviously developed as a younger kid. We were always venturing, exploring, going camping as a family. As I started becoming a younger teen and you start getting into your manual art, starting to perfect those hand skills, and you're getting that self-satisfaction out of, I guess, what you're creating. It's something that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Hey guys, welcome to The Builder's Edge. I'm Norm Wales from Norm Wales Constructions. Now, for me, the whole purpose of this podcast here is to bring a little bit more awareness around the construction industry. I've been feeling for many, many years that there's not enough helpful information out there to support you guys to make the right choice. Now, we are a smaller family independent building company, and we're not here to build everybody's home. But we would definitely love to be able to work with you to facilitate your dream home. But if we don't build your new home, we want you to be able to make the right decision in choosing the right builder for you. So hopefully the information that I'm able to provide through this podcast can be informative and helpful, that you can now create your dream home. So I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.
Norm, I guess a lot of people don't necessarily know your background story. Maybe some people have watched the brand story video. But for those who may not know your story, where did your passion for building come from?
Look, the passion for building for me was obviously developed as a younger kid. We were always venturing, exploring, going camping as a family. And I guess being in the outdoors, you find yourself, using your hands a lot. And I guess using your hands and being outside, you got that breath of fresh air. Like it's a fantastic thing to be a part of. And as I guess you get a little bit older, you start building cubby houses and forts and all little wonderful retreats that you come up with your mates on the school holidays. But, that would have been the foundations where I look back on it there now. But, for me, as I started becoming a younger teen and you start getting into your manual arts and all those sorts of more niched areas, and, you're starting to perfect those hand skills, and you're getting that self-satisfaction out of, I guess, what you're creating there. And it was, really lucky for myself there that I was really early on. I believe it was like year 8, year 9. I pretty much knew I was going to be a builder. I think for a very short window there, I thought, look, I want to be a cabinet maker because, always a big kid playing with Lego and Meccano sets and things, and you just take that to the next level. And I thought, cabinet maker's pretty cool. And I sort of realised once you sort of understood the differences of things, because you're very young, you're very green, do you know what I mean? And I actually understood, a cabinet maker's not a builder, it's more of a niched trade. A builder does, this, or back then, it's a carpenter. You weren't really thinking builder. You're just thinking, I'm going to get into building industry, and that was to be a carpenter there as such. And look, once I sort of started understanding what that was, and as I said, being a younger teenager, working on the farm, and you're always building something or making something there, it just naturally fell into place for me. And, it's something that, I've thoroughly enjoyed.
Was building something that ran in the family? Like, was this something your father, or was there a grandfather or an uncle, or where did it sort of start from? Yeah,
look, honestly, no. It's never been anything that's been in the family there. Like, obviously, my father was quite a cluey sort of person that sort of could adapt to anything, and, very handy. So was my pop. And like, I guess, being around them at a younger age there, you sort of pick up on little skills and techniques of how to make something work, But, no, look, I guess I've paved my own way there in the actual construction industry sector there. But, it's something that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Like I've always said, whatever you do, you have to enjoy it. And, the day I stop, enjoying it, that's the day I'd pull the pin. But I personally could never see myself doing that, because I'm I've got to keep pretty stimulated and active, and that building industry definitely does that for me because, we don't just build a general house. We build people's homes there, and they're crafted uniquely to what they want, specifically to their requirements. So every home we build is completely different. Like we've never built the same house twice. So that there is almost like getting a brand new Meccano set, and every single time you've got something new, it's a kinder surprise, what are you going to get today? And then you actually get to put that together and share that big picture and that journey with our customers there, it's great seeing our customers with a smile on their face and, the tears of joy that we've completed something for them, but we get that same thrill and that same drive out of, as they do. It's, as long as that drive and that passion is there, I'll always still be there doing that.
I mean, I guess a lot of people look at you at Normalised Constructions today and be like, wow, okay, you guys are doing quite a fair few builds per year. But take us back to just paint the picture for us, super early days of Normalised Construction, or even before the name may have even been formed. What were some of those early projects? What did they look like?
Yeah, look, the early days, when you're first starting up with new projects, and look, you're very green, you know what I mean? You potentially, obviously, you start with a carpenter's apprenticeship and, you start getting to find your feet there. But when you start taking that next step at actually going out on your own, a lot of people tend to sort of go down the path of just subcontracting to another builder. Might do the odd little job. And for me, I guess that, you at the old barbecue table and, friends and family always wants, a deck built or a bathroom done. And, you start small. You got to crawl before you walk. And that's exactly what I did do there. But, we definitely started to accelerate, through those areas and started to develop a name for ourselves that the quality that we do deliver and the pride that we take in each and every project, no matter what size that was. And, going back all those years, like you'd love to know what you know now, definitely, because many, many things have changed there. But, it's just a stepping stone, and, starting with some of those smaller projects there and, working through that and starting to understand the industry more as well, that you're growing with it. And I think if you're keeping your finger on the pulse there and wanting to learn, there's the sky's the limit to where you can take yourself.
So what were, you talk about stepping stones, what were some of those stepping stones for you? I mean, obviously going out by yourself, then hiring your first few team members, like talk us through those milestone progressions that you went through to where you are today.
Yeah, look, it is stepping stones, and you obviously start off wearing multiple hats. That's just what has to be done, and when you eventually get to the point there that you start onboarding, an apprentice or another tradie, it's definitely another chapter in itself there, like that becomes with extra responsibilities and, pays and supers and, all these wonderful things that you got to sort of now start surrounding yourself with that you have to do if you're going to be running a successful building company. And, as that journey continues to grow there, you're not focused just on being a carpenter or a builder. You've got to also have the sense of how to run a professional building company. It's a business as well. So there's so many foundations that you need to sort of keep chipping away at and keep implementing and upskilling yourself there to be able to put all those ingredients together to make that one thing really hum.
So I guess today you can strike the line for balancing the business and the construction side of things, but I'm going to assume that it wasn't always like that.
No, look, definitely finding that balance between, building, running a business, family, friend time. It's definitely a challenge, and it's something that myself personally, you're always going to be thinking that, if you're not keeping your finger on that area there, like you can sort of find yourself getting lost, or caught up into one of those fields and you're forgetting the other fields, So for me now, I'm very mindful of those sorts of things. And like for the construction company that we're operating and running there, I'm very focused on family first, and that's just not for myself there. That's, for all my staff, suppliers, contractors, you've got to put, that's very high on the priority list and find that perfect balance there to have a successful business.
So when you ventured out, Normalised Constructions, it's getting runs on the board. What made you decide to focus on becoming a custom home builder, and what made you not go down the pathway of becoming a volume project builder?
Yeah, look, when I decided to take that leap there, I guess the drive for me was, you're in control of your own destiny, and you sort of want to be able to create those memories and that enjoyment with, these customers that we build beautiful relationships with. But, when it came down to the exact direction I wanted to take, like for me, I've got to be fairly stimulated. Like I get bored very quickly, and, I like to have fresh, new things happening around me all the time. So going down the custom design avenue is by far not the most simplest approach. Becoming a high volume Lego builder, doing the same thing, replicating that same design. Look, it's great. It's a smarter business move, no doubt about it. It's, a really good approach if you're sort of in it, for the big picture, and that's to sort of get ahead with the dollars and cents. But, for me, it's not about that. Yes, we all got to provide an income for our family and do stuff there, but you've got to enjoy what you do most importantly. And being a custom design builder and physically being able to craft something that is completely unique and a one-of-a-kind thing, and to achieve, these results for our customers and deliver their dream home to them, it's a special moment. And, they can proudly say, along with us, to say no one else has at home. It's a one-off, one-of-a-kind build.
So how have you found that as you've scaled the team and scaled the company, how have you been able to maintain the quality? Because there's that narrative that as you scale bigger, quality can drop.
Yeah, look, for us in scaling and growing the business there, it's been something that we've been planning and doing for many, many years, but it's about finding the right people as well, and for me, you can hire anybody. Anyone can, punch a keyboard or, swing a hammer, and that's great. But for me, there is a level of standard that I will, adhere to, and I'm very particular with, who we actually do engage. I'm very proud to say the team I have, they're worth their weight in gold and some. I'd give them a shirt off my back any day. They are very highly skilled, motivated people, but also extremely humble as well. But I think that's just the environment and the team that we have there, that we all feed off each other, and we're there for the same outcome for each other there, and it becomes a win-win thing for everybody there.
So looking ahead, what are you guys currently building now? Between 10 to 15 sort of projects per year? Are you going to look to scale past that, or what would the kind of goal be? Where's the sweet spot for you guys, and then why?
Look, for ourselves there, we're not looking at getting much bigger than we really already are. Building that 10, 12, maybe 15 homes there a year, give or take. Like for us, it comes down to really construction slots. Now, we know what our limitations are. We know what we can deliver, and we also know when to say no. I'm never going to say yes to something if I know I'm not going to be able to deliver to what the expectations are. So it's really important for us that we're extremely mindful, and we keep our finger on the pulse there, knowing what our limitations are, what we can handle and take on there, because every project's different. Like I said, every home we do is completely unique to the customer there. We may build a Pacific home that could be equivalent to the next home, which is 3 or 4 times that, so it's really about understanding what your limitations are, what you can facilitate, and when you say you're going to deliver something, you actually keep your word and deliver that there.
So moving, I guess, looking forward, how do you see sort of taking Normalised Constructions to the next level?
Look, taking NWC to the next level there, it's pretty much staying where we are, but just staying consistent with things there. Like for me, I'm very proud of what we have achieved and what we have created there. and I know we got the formulas to make it work. You know, I mean, we've proven this time and time again, hands down. You know, and I say touch wood each time, but like we've never delivered a product at all, you know, over time frame ever. You know, so when we have a plan in place there, we stick with that there. And, you know, we're quite happy doing just what we do now. You know, like we're not trying to be the biggest, you know, the largest builder out there. You know, we're not interested in becoming a high volume company that just you're going to be treated as another number. Like we love the relationships and the rapport that we, you know, create with our customers there. And, you know, for us, you know, I think we got the perfect plan in place now. We're just going to keep sticking with what we do right.
I guess like looking back at you guys' testimonials and a lot of your client case studies, a common thread is that the amount of times that you guys deliver a home earlier than expected, even through COVID, which is quite impressive, right? What's the secret behind that? What's happening there? How are you guys able to consistently do that?
Look, you know, that's something we really, you know, pride ourselves on is delivering what we're going to do. You know, if we say we're going to do something, we do it, you know. And look, there's many elements and things that can sort of really hinder that there. But, you know, from the get-go, like when we've got a signed contract in place there and it's real, we're building this project, I do a complete workflow schedule that I give to my customers. Now, that gives them from the start to the finish and everything in between, when they'll meet me, different trades, suppliers on site, you know, all the milestones of the build, you know, and it helps them know what's happening next. They can plan when they actually are going to be moving in, but it holds us accountable as well, you know. And for us, they're like, yes, sometimes things may fall a little bit behind. Sometimes they're ahead of schedule there. There's so many moving parts, you know, in building a new home, but by having that transparency and that communication that they can see what we've planned, you know, if you have a plan in place, you can deliver that and succeed, you know. So, you know, we're that refined down to having a box of nails delivered to a job site on a specific date, time. Do you know what I mean? So that might be very simple and granular there, but it's every element that needs to make sure is in the right place there.
I mean, a question people might have listening to that is, I mean, were you always that meticulous, or like how did you get to a point where you were that systematic in your approach? Because I'm assuming that there are other builders who would wing that, who perhaps wouldn't be as transparent and as sequential as the way that you guys are operating. Like how did you guys get to that point, or from day one were you guys that good?
Look, it's always room for improvement, you know, and I believe that's our biggest strength there, that we're always looking at ways to improve, you know. So, you know, yes, we have a fantastic process and a system in place there now, but I've always believed that you learn something new every day. It doesn't matter who that is, you know, you learn it from. If it's someone young, someone old, you know, everyone's got wisdom, you know, and experience and life skills there. So for myself there, I've always had that, I guess, thirst of knowledge and, you know, wanting to improve myself and always, you know, not settle for second best or, okay, no, now it's good, you know, that she'll be right sort of thing. Like it's a matter of always having that that point that you're never in your comfort zone. You know, you always got to keep pushing yourself that little bit further. And for me, you know, it's about my word. Like my word is something that someone can never, ever take away from me. You know, I guess I'm pretty old school still, that a handshake, you know, like if you shake someone's hand and say you're going to do something, you do it, you know, that's just an honorable thing. And they're things that can never be taken away from you, you know. So if, you know, you have simple things that you live by there, and then you start working on structures and systems and implementing these things there, it doesn't just help you, but it helps everyone around you as well. And everyone wants to be able to enjoy going to work. So I'm a big believer of working smarter, not harder. And, you know, that comes through great communication and, you know, continual improvement.
You say your word is your word. You know, that's a reflection of your values. Where do you think those values came from?
Look, you know, I guess it's your upbringing, isn't it? Like, you know, my family there, like we've always, I guess, been battlers, I guess you could say. Like we've never had anything given to us there, so you tend to appreciate the simple things as well. And like for me, if you can sit there and tell someone you're going to do something, and then you deliver that there, that's just an honourable, respectful thing to do. There's no point telling someone something that is going to be incorrect or under delivering something. It's a start to setting up a bad experience for everybody involved. I think if you can just be transparent, openly communicate with people there, it's fun and enjoyable. It really is. It's a fantastic experience there if people can sort of be a little bit more humble about stuff there and don't safeguard themselves and just open up a bit and enjoy it.
Thinking back to early days NWC or even before that, can you think of any moments now that shaped the way that you became and like shaped the way that you started to develop who you are today?
Look, been in the industry for so long now, but going on 28 years there, you are always being shaped and molded, I guess, as you grow and mature as a person, the people you surround yourself with, life challenges and changes. You obviously, I started off very young, and I'll be the first person to admit that, I would have been green in many areas, but one thing that probably hasn't ever changed for myself there is that interest to always improve and I guess that thirst of wanting to push things further and always, do something a little bit different, a little bit left field that, others might find a bit too hard. Like I find I get a bit of a kick out of that, I guess. I like to set unique challenges for myself, and sometimes I probably set them. I don't even know I do that. I just like to sort of push the envelope there a little bit to do something different, And yeah, look, it's for me. I think over the years, as you do mature, and you start seeing other opportunities, I guess, there as well. And, you really want to be able to share that with the people around you. Obviously, having a family and going down that path and as well, like that definitely makes you shift and rethink and reevaluate life and, where things can take you and what you should be doing and prioritizing stuff there as well. So, yeah, for me, it was just about finding that balance there really and just enjoying every day and taking the next one as it comes.
Speaking of balance, you recently completed the Kokoda Trail.
I did. Yes, I did.
Tell us about that because that's quite a interesting feat considering that you just had both your knees operated on.
Yeah, look, that is something special to me, to be honest. It's something that I've been wanting to do for over 20 years. So since I was at school, to be honest, meant to do it with a good mate of mine. And you sort of always put things back, next year, we'll do it this time, or,
Put it off, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It gets put off. And, there's always roadblocks and hurdles in life. And then it would have been a few years ago that we sort of made a decision, a topic come up, and I thought, well, let's do this. Like I was all in. I think it was actually my niece and that was talking about doing it. And I said, I'm in, didn't have to ask me twice. And there was a handful of us, and ended up being three towards the end. But yeah, look, I'd made a commitment that I was going to do that. And obviously being pretty active with sports and things, and over all the years, a bit of wear and tear on the body, especially through, the construction industry. It takes its toll on your body as well. I did have to go get my knees looked at, and that was very close to me still having to go do the trek there. And I was adamant I was going to do it.
Well, how severe was the surgery? Like, how severe was the sort of maybe the post-op actually?
Yeah, look, it wasn't major surgery, but it's both, still knee operations there that needed time to recover from, and the rehabilitation time was pretty much smack on the time that I was actually going to Kokoda. And I was very fortunate to do that actually for Anzac Day itself. So if I was going to do it, I was going to do it for a special time because I really, truly believe any, true-blooded Aussie should really do that. It's a very, very humbling experience. It's a beautiful place, actually.
Tell us about it, because the way that you described it to us the other week when we were filming, like it's crazy. Like it's I didn't realize how intense it actually is.
Yeah, look, it's a challenge. It's obviously weather conditions, can definitely change that from being, very wet and muddy to very hot. But I think it's just one of those things that it helps you take that backward step a little bit and just really reflect upon, what you've done, why you're here, and like I said, it's very humbling. Like it's something that, some people say, that it's easy. Some people might say it's hard, but everybody is on a different journey there in themselves. You sort of will have physical, mental challenges, but you push yourself through different barriers there. And to get to that day, each and every day, it's very rewarding.
How many days is the actual trek? Like how many days do you guys on camp, and how long is it from morning to night? How far?
Yeah, so there's many different ways this can be done. Like people do, like they actually run it and they get it done like a day, but there's many different paths and things to that. But for ourselves, we done this over like a 9-10 day sort of stint. You're pretty much on the go all day. You sort of be packs on, just after breakfast, so it could be 7-8 o'clock and you could be walking through to the night, depends on the sort of day that you had. But generally speaking, if you said you got in about that, 4 or 5 o'clock was pretty normal there. So the range, it might have been, give or take 14 kilometres or so a day, but it's just the terrain and the stuff you're going through. And I also probably made it a little bit harder for myself because I had another personal challenge that I wanted to do the whole thing with a full kit. And when I mean a full kit, like a full backpack. So it was quite heavily loaded.
What's that, like 10 kilos, 15?
I was sitting around at 23 to 27 kilos.
Yeah.
So it was probably a bit on the heavy side. There's 4 of us that actually done full kit like that. Looking back on it, probably wasn't the smartest thing to be doing with 2, under strength knees, but it was something that I really wanted to do probably for my own, well-being in itself, that, the guys that went over there and served and, done what they'd done for our country there, they didn't do it easy. And I didn't want to make it easy for myself either. Like there's definitely no shortcuts over there. To go over there and enjoy it more, maybe not with the pack on, and just a bit of a vest and a water bottle's, a better way if you're looking at doing it. So, you don't definitely have to do it the way I done it there, but I wanted it to be hard, and it was hard. It really was, but very, very rewarding, and I'd literally go back there again. I really would. It's something that I highly do recommend sort of doing, and, it's something that will stay with me forever.
Yeah, well, I think it's amazing. It's actually quite inspirational. When you told me, I was like, wow, that's super impressive. So I think absolute hats off to you on that one. And just jumping back to the building industry, just something for aspiring builders or even aspiring entrepreneurs, because the principles that you operate on apply outside of the construction industry as well. But what advice would you give to aspiring builders or aspiring entrepreneurs?
Look, I'm always out there trying to help anyone that's wanting the advice with stepping into becoming a builder, and not necessarily just a builder. Like there's many trades out there that I'm always trying to help facilitate growth or the understanding of, you may be a fantastic trade in what field you're in there, but you also need to sort of start learning the behind the scenes of running a business and merging all that together. Like the advice like I'd give anyone in the construction industry and especially builders and that there is, if it really is a dream and they purely really want it, like you got to be hungry for it. Like it's not going to be easy, but if you truly want it, stick with it there, but be willing to put the hard work in. And there's going to be sacrifices. There really, really will be, especially if you want to be successful and do it well. But, on the flip of that there, knowing that you don't have to be alone. Like I guess in the early days, they're like, I've learnt the hard way. I really have. You've done it by yourself there. There are people out there like myself that are happy to, be in here. There's many good people in the industry. It doesn't even have to be a Pacific builder. It could be another fellow tradie or someone else or it could be a completely different sector. It could be a mechanic, but they've been very successful or something. Reach out to those people and talk with them. Dive in a bit deeper and unfold, all those little things that have been, I guess their concerns and problems over the years that you can sort of maybe try to debug your steps and, have a good plan, put things into motion, but don't be scared to ask for help. It's really important because it is a very lonely place there and there's so many moving parts, that it can become very overwhelming,
Where have you gone to seek help?
Look, for myself, it's always been a bit of just keep on lacing up. I won't lie. But I'd say probably over the last 5 to 10 years there, I guess as you grow and mature and develop, I guess yourself there, you start understanding that you need to start having conversation with fellow, workers and people in the industry or, there's many affiliations out there now that you can sort of reach out to. So, now is you've got many more opportunities and support networks and that around you to sort of help there, but you've also don't be scared in asking for help. That's probably the biggest takeaway because a lot of people are very proud, and a lot of people don't want to share all the information either. So, you've got to find yourself in that right networking group there that you feel comfortable with. It could just be, your local chambers. It could just be, as I said, it could be your uncle. It could be a mum and dad that's ran a business. Anyone that you can sort of relate to and connect with is most importantly. But, yeah, there's some fantastic affiliations and that out there that you can take multiple leaps and bounds for that if you want to network with the right like-minded people.
And I guess on the flip side of that, what would you say would some of the consequences be of perhaps not asking for help or perhaps having the mentality that, well, I'm good, I know what I'm doing, I'll just keep plowing forward?
Yeah, look, we can all sort of get a bit naive and blind to, we think we're doing really well and that's all we have to do and we just rest on our morals a little bit there. But, the industry, it changes very quickly, and it's important that you're keeping that finger on the pulse there and understanding that you might have something good today, next week, a year later, it's irrelevant, So you've got to sort of be still giving yourself time to work in the actual business there too and, implementing new, fresh ideas and just making sure things are still staying relevant to what you're specifically doing because everybody's going to do something a little bit different, that there is no real right or wrong way. You've just got to find the right processes that, are going to be best suited to yourself.
So looking forward, what's Normalised Constructions moving towards? What's the big thing?
Look, moving forward for NWC there, it's just about having that safety and security around with what we've already done and making sure that everybody that's involved under that umbrella, benefits from that as well. It's far bigger than just me. I'm just a piece of that puzzle there. There's so many different pieces there now. And, for me, for my own satisfaction there, I really, truly would like to see everyone involved in that there really benefit from that there and get their own little takeaways and their own little goals achieved, So it's a great thing to be able to sort of be in a position there to sort of help and support, people around you.
Have you started having that though? Like I'm assuming as you've scaled, you've been able to see some of the team have those wins and have those benefits. What would be an example of that?
Yeah, look, as I said, I'm very fortunate with the team that I have there and, to see the growth over, some of them over the years because, so some have been with us for quite a long time and to see how they've grown and matured, you sort of have a bit of an aha moment yourself a bit, because I guess you thought, well, hey, I was there once upon a time too, and to see that growth, that independence there, it's really, really rewarding. It actually it's a real proud moment to sort of be a part of there.
I love it. Well, I think on that note, I think it's time for us to grab the get to know your Norm jar. So I've got this jar, and this is I guess this could be the Builder's Edge jar, where it's we've got a whole bunch of questions that are completely different and unique and creative, and we're gonna get to see how Norm tackles some pretty unique questions. So do you want to? Actually, I'll read it out to you. Let's see how we go. Oh, this is literally okay. So Norm, are you ready?
Okay, what do you want?
All right. So if you could dedicate your life to solving one global issue, what would it be and why?
Solving one global issue. Okay. Look, I think for me there, and it's probably more of something I'm interested in, is that, like, I love my food. So it'd have to be obviously the hunger in the world. Nice. So I think if you could, make sure everyone's fed, and healthy, it'd be a much happier place.
Yeah. So the world hunger problem.
Yeah, the world hunger for me, but I said it's close to home because I love my food, mate. So
yeah,
it's a good one.
Cheers. Well, on that note, thanks for your wisdom, Norm. Thanks for your insights. And until the next time on The Builder's Edge.
Right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.